Oh, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we're going to be playing some Final Fantasy XVI. Thank you to Camper Mum for gifting me the game. Just checking everything. We should be good to go. Alright, that's it. Straight into the gameplay. No intro. Yeah, let's do it. Valisthea, thank you for sharing the stream. So, where we left off last time, we just spoke to the God Complex dude. Barnabas. So now we need to just accept new side quests.
Heard the bad news then, did you?
What bad news?
About Dravost. Blackthorn's old haunt.
I am looking forward to New Game Plus when I can skip all these cutscenes. Like, some of the cutscenes are really interesting, don't get me wrong. But I do feel that some of them are sighted right now.
Akashic. Every creature in the area is either turned or on the way to turning, apparently. Zoltan and the others are living on borrowed time. They need help, and quick. Dorish sent a few curse breakers to keep an eye on things, but there's only so much.
It's what I said before, that it's because, like, when you compare this game to, like, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I care about the characters in 7 Remake a hell of a lot more.
I won't let that happen.
Than in this game.
Didn't think you would.
So,
does Blackthorn know?
I get more in depth into the story. I see 7 Remake, for example, much higher than this game.
It's better this way.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's a great game. It's really fun.
I can't stand about knowing what's
I would recommend
there,
it,
so
but if you could only pick between 7 Remake and 16, I would pick 7 Remake. Let's get the next one. As always, I'm just doing the side quests first. Finish all the side quests and then we'll carry on the story. That's how I generally approach RPG games, because it helps you to just be ahead of the curve all the time, to be over-prepared. And these ones with the green plus, they seem to, obviously they're all boosting the amount of healing you get from your potions, so obviously you should prioritize them.
Just the man I was hoping to see. Did you have a mo?
Don't tell me. You need more bomb ash.
Oh no, we still got plenty of that left. I'm working on bringing another one of the Chief's designs to life. This time, it's a new smelter. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top for additional thermo amplification and a system of reciprocal recirculatory regeneration.
I drank a lot of water today to stop me being so tired. I don't yawn constantly. And I've been to the bathroom like 7 times. I guess my body doesn't know what to do with it.
That's for certain.
Oh, look, he is back after 6 PM. Yeah.
You can't chuck ore in one
In order for the platinum, you'll need to do all the side quests and hunts again. If you want to max out your stats. Fair enough, fair enough. I don't mind doing it, but at least the second time I'll be able to skip all the cutscenes, isn't it?
Any chance you could help me too?
If it's for the good of the hideaway, I'd be happy to.
Obviously, like I said, the first time I'll listen to what they say. But...
I promise you.
So...
yeah, I was a little bit late today because I was again updating Mithrie.com.
We've got a couple of examples here. Spherical echoes.
Doing some more research, more learning about SEO and how Google works and stuff like that. Always busy, chat. Always.
They're a bit like the thermal helms. Fallen ceramics.
Quite often, I'm working at like 2 in the morning. Like, literally, I get to a point where Mum says, go to bed.
From the inside to the outside.
Like, I'm nearly 40 years old and Mum is telling me to sleep.
They're all outside.
Because I keep working. I just don't stop.
Reflect the heat right back into the furnace. We've collected as many as we can. And I know where we can get the rest.
I'm nearly done with the Harry Potter marathon as well. I'm halfway through Deathly Hallows Part 1 again.
So you want me to visit some ruins, destroy some echoes, and bring back the spheres?
Probably watch the rest of Part 1 tonight.
That's it in a nutshell.
Tomorrow I'll watch Part 2.
We're only 3 short, mind. And we know exactly
I revisit the Harry Potter films probably once every couple of years.
In that ruin that they call Lost Plume, and another in the Silent South over in Dalmekia. Last one is in the ruins of Advent, which is in the Empire.
All right then. Wish me luck.
Will do.
Yeah. How are your playthroughs going with 16? think there's one more side quest for us to get. Yeah, right there. Go to the book. I'm about to cross the sea to Ash. Cool. On hard mode, yeah? At the moment, I'm bored as hell. Oh, really? Is it? Are you at the stage Mum was talking about where there's like a billion side quests?
Covered in nicks and
She said that she had to grind it out for like hours and hours and hours and hours.
the stew's awfully thin these days.
After the time skip on hard mode. Okay. Dookie. I say, sir, I and the other curse breakers have grown concerned regarding the well-being of our captain. Despite the apparent unrest, her recent investigations have visited upon her. Lady Doris refuses all offers of assistance. If it is not too much trouble, I would ask that you please speak with the captain and listen, and learn what troubles her so deeply. Fair enough.
There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide in me, but I can speak to her at least.
Go talk to Doris. Oh, here's some trivia for you, chat. The voice actress who plays Doris, she's a girl called Anna, and she actually plays Sophia in A Plague Tale Requiem, and she follows me on Twitter. Aha! Into her live streams. And on top of all that, it's her birthday today. She's 30 years old. So, if you know her, go say happy birthday to her. You mean a woman? Yeah.
Where are you?
Crazy, right?
Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not.
I have
She's
more
at
lady
Martha's
friends
Rest on
than
a
guy
job.
friends, to be honest.
My job, actually.
It's because
When
I
she
have
heard
two
what the
sisters in
mission
real
was,
life, so I
she
get
insisted
on
on
with
going
girls better than
herself.
guys.
Alone.
Did she? What was the mission?
Following up on some new information. Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's
Oh,
Air
my
were
lady
keen to
friends
talk about
probably
their imprisonment.
outnumber my guy friends,
And about their
probably
captor.
5 to 1.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the beastmen. I'll go and find her.
This might shock you, Dawn.
She's at
It's
Martha's
possible
Rest,
to
you
talk
say?
to a female without
She's not
wanting
moved on
anything more than
already.
friendship.
Yes. I hope everything's all right.
It's actually possible.
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be
Martha's
worried.
Rest. Okay, let me go do these side quests. If you want to believe. Let's see. But calling a woman a girl is weird. It depends on the person. Like, I know some 35-year-old girls. I know some 20-year-old women. It depends on the maturity of the person. So... some more side quests.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his
But
quest
is
to
there,
uncover
what's it
Ultima's
called?
origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Well, I have like a billion
Little
side
has
quests. Is this entire stream just going to be side quests?
See.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is known.
Like I said, I'm after the
Our
bit with
archaeologians
the
scour ruins
parting of
in
the sea at
every
Moses
corner
as
of
well.
the realm for
Could be.
traces of Ultima's touch.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back
Yes,
as
it's a
far as
side quest
Phoenix
day.
Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen
I think something that's
civilization,
kind of funny
as
is
if protecting the
I was
secrets
browsing
concealed
through
within.
Twitter. I will never browse through
Secrets
Twitter on
concealed
stream
earth.
ever, because you
So
never know what
our
people are going to
methods be
post.
of interest, my lord.
But basically,
Mayhap it would please
people
you
are
to
still
observe
sending
some of our number
unsolicited nudes
Would that
to
be
each other.
possible?
So
Of course.
some
survey
girl
has
said,
been
"Oh, I
conducted
opened my
not far
DMs and
from
this is
here.
what I saw," and then she
Chance
posted
you are familiar with
a
Kotov,
random guy's
a
nude
small
that he sent her,
hamlet built around a
and
fallen
she
airship.
put some tiny
I
red
was due
dot,
to visit my
teeny
colleagues
weeny
there to
one
collect their
over his
preliminary
dick,
findings, but
and that's
if
all that
you
was needed
would
to cover it
consent
up.
to do so in my stead,
I was just like,
I'm sure
again,
that
I was
they
like,
would be
la la
honored
la la
to
la
relate
la.
any discoveries they have made to you directly.
Like, there's something called consent, buddy.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified, I am sure. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead
But
you
that's why
straight to
I
the
will never
village after but a
actually,
short walk.
I will never browse
Thank
Twitter
you.
on stream, because you
I
don't
will.
know what's going to
I
pop up.
wish you
It could
a
be from
safe
anybody.
journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart.
Here we go. Another side quest. I haven't seen Mum today anywhere. I haven't heard from her. She's okay. But she's probably just asleep. Hey man. Hello, we'll be lurking. Just
A village
got
built around
past
an airship.
Bahama. Oh, cool.
Sounds like another lost wing. I hope the
Yeah, I mean,
inhabitants
today
are
is just
friendly.
a side quest day, so I'm probably... There's probably not going to be any major story. I'll try not to spoil anything. Because I've got like a billion side quests to do.
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
Okay. Let's see.
If you can swing a hammer, you can swing a sword.
Yeah, let's see if I have like full on potions.
Would you like to see my wares?
Sure.
Thank you. Here you are. Go safely now.
Okay. So this person.
Clive! You're here!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. There's swarms of them out there. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the
My
villagers to
sister just sent
barricade
me some
themselves inside
cat
their homes at least.
ASMR.
Well done.
Cat purring.
Welcome back, Sid. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's
So
most
my
infamous outlaw?
my sister got a new job,
Keen to help us out
but
again?
she has to serve a 3-month notice with her current job.
Sneak off without me,
I was
did
like,
ya?
3-month notice. Wow. Imagine quitting a job and having to work there for another 3 months
What are you doing here?
before you can actually
One of the
leave.
scouts couldn't keep his voice down.
That's nuts,
Unlike
right?
my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoldan, how long's it been? Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
Then
I
your idea of an
couldn't
apology.
handle that. That's crazy.
Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the village and that.
I did, yeah. But that ain't the whole of it.
Guy is voiced by the guy
Vulcan,
who's
our
also
master, didn't leave the
Alpha Star.
chieftain to the two
Yeah,
of us.
I did notice there's a lot of
He
like
left it to
duplication,
me.
isn't there?
The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself,
They,
of course.
People did multiple
Bloody
characters.
stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent,
Now,
you should let
guys,
them
the
practice their
question
craft
came up.
rather than to settle petty
Is
feuds
voice
and bar for grain.
syncing
master
better
wasted
in
half
this
his life
game
that
or
way.
in 7
I wasn't
Remake?
about to let
Because
that
nearly
happen to me.
everyone has said that 7
So you
Remake's
wasted half of my
voice
years,
lip syncing is way better than this
What
game.
Dravost needed.
He said, like, with this game, it's like they ran
Under
out
me and my
the lip
precious
syncing
ideals,
budget
this place
halfway
wouldn't have
through.
lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences.
Sounds like an important job your sis has. Yeah, I think so.
I may be a selfish prick.
She's
but I only
because
did what I
basically
felt
she
I
left
had to.
university and then she's been with the
What
same
you
company
had to
for
do was
like
your duty.
7 years,
Even if it
and
meant
she
we
was
all
promoted
starved.
like 4 or 5
Enough.
times.
This is no time for bickering.
So she's not quite head of
Finish
department,
beating each
but
other
she
up once
reports
Dravost is safe.
to her current head of department. So she's in a managerial
anyway.
position.
Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. shouldn't have stuck my nose in. Short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you?
Is there any difference than
Let's
remake?
get my head straight before any of them Akashic try to
I don't
bite
know.
it off.
Okay, what are we doing now? Speak with August when you're ready. Okay.
You, ready for the off then?
We can't afford to waste any more time.
Right you are.
Fully animated cutscenes,
Might
the
be worth
lip
having
syncing
one
is
last word
great.
with the scouts, though.
In
Don't
these
want any
smaller
nasty surprises,
cutscenes
do
like
we?
these,
Oh, and
it's like 14,
Blackthorn.
where they have
You
moving
and Zoltan
mouths
might
and
be better
basic
off staying
gestures.
inside.
Yeah, I
Akashic
think so.
on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. And there are more coming up from the mines.
Question also came
What's
up.
the saying about nasty surprises?
They'll wash right
Would you
over
have
us
any
if we stay
issues
out in the
with, for
open.
example,
We're pulling back behind the gates.
Good idea.
talking to an
Yourselves inside
AI
and keep your weapons
NPC,
handy.
as in actually
Understood.
talking with your mouth, like having conversations with them, and them being able to reply?
I'm prepared to fight if I have
And
to.
they use like
Well, let's
ChatGPT
hope
or
you
whatever
don't.
to respond.
That's our job. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting at all if you can help it.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic beasts can do to armor. The people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped.
That's a
to
bit
face
too
what's
close
coming.
to Uncanny
out
Valley for
there.
me. Yeah.
Start
We'll see
working
what the
gate
future
as
has to
soon as
hold,
they're
sort of
left.
thing.
I'll give you as much time as I can.
But another thing that they said was
kill you,
that the graphics that we see now for
evacuate.
PlayStation 5,
It won't
eventually
come to that.
this will be mobile
promise.
graphics. This is how powerful mobiles will be in the future.
You'd better be right.
Won't be for a few years,
Take
but
good care of Dravoj till I get back.
so for now, this is like obviously main console, main
Those
graphics.
things
But
will
yeah,
fall, yeah?
it's inevitable that mobile phones will have this. And I was reading as well about the whole Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard thing, but I just didn't want to keep reporting on it because by now I would have made like 25 videos about the same topic.
All right.
So, but at least it's getting closer. Like, hopefully I'll actually... Dang it. Hopefully I'll report when the deal is actually done. But the thing is, the FTC is appealing. And it hasn't been approved yet in the UK. So they can't go ahead unless they get approval in the US, the UK, and EU. They've already got approval from the EU. They overruled the FTC initially, but the FTC is appealing. But the UK initially have said no. So, like I said,
Over here. This one.
so we'll see basically what happens. But that's why I didn't want to keep reporting on it because I said I would have made 25 videos about it already. I don't want my channel to become the like FTC or Microsoft Activision Blizzard merger channel.
Get him. Go for it. Stay down.
Other things with one. Yeah. And I'm also spending time, like I said, to optimize Mithrie.com. So, let me know what you guys think of the new layout for Mithrie.com. I get. He would fly away, wouldn't he? Ow. There we go.
Is that it?
Yeah, there are sometimes literally where he just doesn't even move
Apparently
his
not.
mouth. Oh, it's a chimera. Right.
Not getting past me.
Ah, golly. Yeah. Animation lock. Whatever. There you go, GG. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even look at Shiva's abilities. Is Shiva any good? Like, is she better than Ramu,
The
for
question
example?
is, did I miss any?
Because I'm happy with Titan and I'm happy with Phoenix,
Man alive!
but
You're still in
Ramu
one
could be
piece.
replaced potentially.
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it. Well, almost.
Only
Oh,
almost.
yeah.
Yeah, one or two did
Shiva is
try to
amazing.
sneak over the wall.
Diamond
We
Dust
got the
is in
bastards,
this.
don't you worry.
Good.
Ah.
Though you do know, more will come in time.
In time, yeah.
Shiva circle
can
this
think
one.
about them
Okay.
later.
I'll read
Let's get you
what
back
the abilities
inside.
do in a sec. Against the menu. Okay. Let's look at Shiva's abilities. Mesmerize. It says launch multiple shards of ice that upon striking lighter enemies draw them towards you. And this one, Ice Age. Unleash a river of icicles that greatly knocks back enemies. Then this one, Rhyme. Summon a colossal ice crystal that deals continuous damage to all enemies trapped inside of it. Yeah, but I mean, this one, I'll assume means that they have to, like, not move. Cold Snap. Slide effortlessly across the ground in any direction, attacking with circle, while sliding can temporarily freeze enemies. Okay, so if I'm gonna switch out Ramu for Shiva. Like I said, I just don't like Bahamut or the Waste of Space. His abilities are way too slow. They're not even hit that hard. In my opinion. Okay. Stage. Do this one and then Diamond Dust. Okay. Make sure I've actually got everything equipped. Sage, and we want Diamond Dust. Alright, let's go with that for now.
Sid,
Here I go.
You're even more fearsome than your reputation.
His dodge, which can
Enough to
freeze
give those Akashic monsters
Cool.
nightmares. I almost felt sorry.
Odin
for
has
the
nice
wretched
skills,
thief.
but
But mostly,
Huh?
I
But I'm
felt
assuming.
grateful.
I mean, I don't have Odin yet, do I?
Dravoged won't forget what you did today.
Will that be the last one I
I'm
get?
afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether flood. Meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
Well, I assume then
That's if
that
the flood don't spread.
like the ultimate would
does,
be
well,
like Odin would be one
I
of
hate
them.
to say it, but the village's days
Would
are
it be Phoenix, Shiva, and Odin?
That may be.
Like
but
maximum upgraded if you get
we're
enough points?
staying just the same. With ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, it's our home. We'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you. So, thanks.
Thank you.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
I find Odin weak. Phoenix, Titan, and Shiva have been my staple for
Though I
hard
doubt
mode.
I'd have listened.
Oh, fair enough.
I always envied you.
In hard mode, you have to get all the skills to the maximum.
It was anything but.
I can imagine.
You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. But what you said earlier, it was true. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally,
I'll get there,
something
chat.
we can agree
Eventually.
on. Well, I
Eventually,
guess
the
it's
credits will
something
roll on
eventually.
hard mode, and we get the platinum.
You kept this place alive.
Then we can play for
Alive,
Resident Evil 4
perhaps,
remake. Haha.
even, but Dravos isn't what it once
Depends on your
was.
playstyle and what you
Our
like
used to
and
be the
use.
pride of
Fair enough.
Dalmekia. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after
But
day.
yeah, I still have a
because
lot
it's
of work to do on the
easy.
website. Like I've been working on
Turns
it
a profit.
non-stop for ages, and I still have a lot more work to
It's not
do.
about the craft anymore.
So I did some
Send myself
research.
to war
For
with
example,
shit
I
most
found
of us
out
that's the
that
making.
article
I kept
titles
working,
need to be between
honing my
50 to
skills,
60
trying to
characters
lead by
long,
example, but
and
no one
most of
sees
my
the
articles are
point.
not
The average
optimized like that.
person
So I have to go
apprentices
through
as much
every single
passion for the
article,
craft as our
like
current
nearly
lot.
800 of them,
Come back to us,
and put
Blackthorn.
proper titles on them.
Remind Dravos what a
Take
true
time.
master blacksmith looks like.
And I have to update it on Medium.
I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
I have this like SEO checker basically that's listed me hundreds of errors with the website that I'm going through
I
them.
wish I could accept.
But it'll be worth it when it's all set up and it's
There's
all
people
done.
who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Because what I want basically is my website, the
But that
YouTube
doesn't mean I
channels,
couldn't
everything
visit
like
from time
that
to time.
become basically a money
Let's
printing
see if we
machine,
can't rekindle
so
this
that I
town's
can
passion for
effectively
craft, shall
just
we?
chill and play
I
games.
like that.
And then
Just be
even
sure
if you
to tell
guys never
Shotty
tip me
to
ever
let me
again,
in the next time
I'll be
come
like,
to
I
him,
just
yeah?
don't care because I get my money from
Knowing him,
the website I'm from.
he'd let you in anyway.
YouTube. I'm nearly at that point already, but
Blackthorn.
I really want
Master
to
Smith turned outlaw. Back
get
in
rid of
my
any
good
reliance on
graces.
Twitch
I
whatsoever.
never thought I'd see the day.
It doesn't mean I'll quit Twitch, but it's just a case of, like, I don't want to be
Say that went
trapped
pretty well,
on
wouldn't
this
you?
thing of
Even
I need
better
to
than I
stream so
hoped.
many hours a day and then hope for tips. Like that's not living, in my opinion.
Sid,
I might as well just be on the street
something
with
for
a
you.
cup at that point, and hope people passers by fill it up. I don't want that life.
And this is?
a token of our lasting gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned.
I had an interesting conversation today as well.
But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry, and they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back
Interesting
to Dravost
DM.
in the first place?
Someone from my past.
A certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with a hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a different kind of metalwork. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to
Hey, message Mom. Let's see where she is.
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the Hideaway, would you?
He's more than welcome. As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools. We've got a legend to forge.
Fair enough.
The beast was charging at me. He threw himself at it.
Is that Basie yet? So can I go through that gate now? It says inaccessible at the moment, but will I be able to go through it?
Ready, go?
Well,
To deal with these ones first.
All yours, Torvald. Get him. To me, Blade.
too hard.
To find this spherical echo.
Yep.
This is it.
One.
Right then.
Alright. By the way, hand of X on your map are the trials. Hand of X. Is there one on this map, or am I imagining? Alright, let's yeah, we have a million side quests to do. It's a white circle above you. I don't know what you're talking about, sorry. I have no clue.
Everything's back.
Anyway, let me just keep doing this. I'll find out eventually.
Clive, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring.
Forgotten
since
where you were.
brought everyone together.
I have no idea what
Since
anything
we
to. I'll literally
brought
just keep
everyone
following
together,
green quest markers.
All is
That's all.
absolutely wonderful.
I'm like tunnel vision right now.
Hands remain safely away from each other's throats and firmly at the helm.
Maybe I'll do trials after
Our
this.
stores are full, and
Like
the
in a couple of
bandits
days if
still
it takes
too
so long.
disorganized to raid them.
Oh, hey man, there you are.
Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him
I didn't say
the Lord
nothing.
of Dalamil. Because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child. And the vote hasn't
Wondering
taken
where you
place
were.
just yet.
Had me
But
worried.
If people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my
I even
first
sent you a
act will be
WhatsApp.
to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
Oh.
There indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits'
Everything okay
attention.
though? I was just genuinely
And
curious.
they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
We'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will.
Oh,
If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face.
So I think I'm
avoid
at
facing
the
this one, the more
million
difficult
side
it
quest
will
part.
be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run
Very
for the
busy this morning.
hills.
Fun wasn't with me.
Our
Fair enough.
best hope is to nip these efforts at organization
Okay, as long
in
as
the
everything's
bud
okay.
by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord.
Let's go.
Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
I'll go and speak with him.
Prioritize. So yeah, like I said, I think this is the bit you were complaining about. There's probably like 4 billion side quests for me to do
Looks
now.
like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Victor.
But yeah, Mama, I made some changes to Mithrie.com. Let me know what you think of the new design of the Mithrie.com homepage.
Then I came back.
It's the way I've laid out the
I've developed
articles.
something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it safe,
Ridiculous amount of side quests.
it would seem remiss to abandon it to another.
Yeah.
A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't
I'll say why
shy
in a
about
sec.
exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
Once you've
You're
seen
not
it.
the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the dunes.
Leave it with me.
Okie dokie. Alright. Pew.
Ready, go?
Faster!
Those ne'er-do-wells.
Let's go. So as I said, I have tools which basically say all the errors with the website in terms of making it better for search engines, SEO and stuff like that. And one of the big errors I had left was the
That must be the camp Victor mentioned.
length of my article titles. And then I did some research and I found out it should be at least 50, but maximum 60 characters. But like I said, because I have so many articles, it'll obviously take a long time. Overwhelming. Yeah, I'll keep working on it. Yeah. But is it at least obvious what's the title, what's the description, what's the date? I'm limited with like the colors I can use because it's a dark background, so the text has to be like really bright to make sure it stays
I see the bandits didn't pose you any
ADA
trouble.
compliant.
No, but that's not why you're here, is it?
No. Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
What?
There he, thou, then.
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalimil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic...
More trophies and platinum.
A crystal.
All I need is Final Fantasy mode and all the abilities.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years.
Voice.
Which is what people are saying. If he
Then
has,
how far are you
I
into
wouldn't
Final
blame
Fantasy
him.
mode?
No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who has made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
There.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And
Big
when that
breath right
occasion
now, going
arose,
through against an
I
iron
forgot to
giant.
reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
Is that like a normal mob on
sorry,
hard mode? Or a remake of a
Tried
certain
to
boss?
keep running, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoy
Guys,
playing
if you've been
the
sitting
hero
down for a long
once.
time, get up, stretch your legs.
All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and
I'm
I
going
are
Twix, you have a
friends.
Twix.
I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
There is our field force. I suppose.
Why you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a...
He knew all along that he...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's
A
right.
really, really important question, chat.
I wanted to speak to you
When
about
you eat a
Lubor.
Twix,
The rumours
do you have
that he's a bearer.
the biscuit at the bottom?
All
Or do
true,
you
I'm
have the caramel
Never be man now.
at the bottom?
Not if I have anything to
Which
do
do you
with it.
prefer?
But what if his wares?
I tend
No,
to
his steel is
switch
highly
depending on
valued
my
throughout the
mood.
Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
Or are any of you
I'm
crazy
sorry,
and
my
eat it
lord, but
sideways?
He lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Don't eat that up.
Perhaps.
Oh, fair enough.
That is a question for the people of Dalimil, and they will thank you not to get involved.
It's the same either way. Boring.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger
Like,
is cool,
does anyone
they
in
might
chat
see
like
things
put it
differently.
like
For now,
vertically in
we
their
should
mouth
report
and like
back
just
to
like
Lubor.
break their jaw like?
Right.
We have some really important conversations in this chat.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearers?
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope.
But yeah, like I said, so I've got a lot of work to do for Mithrie.com. I have to go through all the articles again and update their titles.
But perhaps not in this lifetime,
Yay.
I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time.
But I would say that's
They'll
quite an
come around.
important change.
We'll talk some sense into them in the end. You'll see.
I do with my Twix is illegal in 17 countries. Oh, fair enough.
And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic.
You like
when consider
inject
that
it
her
with
life
like
is taken
unicorn
with
blood.
a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was
Then
always
you have a
true
cursed
to
life
herself and what she believed
by
in,
eating it.
right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones.
Where?
It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
And I suppose someone who's done seen too much Harry Potter.
Possibly
Yeah.
be for the best. These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor.
Maybe.
It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one.
Oh, by the way, chat, randomly, did any of you see my secret
Where are
YouTube
my
channel?
manners? Here.
And
Reward for
what do you
clearing
think
out
of
that
what I
bandit
put on
camp.
there?
Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
Finally. Yeah, we did one quest. Out of like 5 billion. Alright. Okay. So here.
What's happened?
Other quests.
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moving.
Now, the question is, chat,
Right.
which is a better game?
I'll go and ask.
This game
Thanks,
or
Clive.
4 Remake?
I owe you one.
Which deserves Game of the Year more? Like, it seems obvious that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will win, regardless. But, yeah.
Don't blame yourself, El.
This?
This is their
Okay.
fault, not yours. I know, but no buts about it, all right?
I think for me, it depends on the quality of the ending when I get there.
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter
I don't know
our
if you
bidders.
guys watched the gaming
But the
news today.
consortium offered double what
They
we
are
did, and
potentially
Liana jumped at the chance.
planning a DLC
You had no
for
opportunity
16.
to make a counteroffer.
None at all.
Yoshi B said that
So
he'll
close.
share information about it
Well,
as soon as they can.
What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
Originally, though, they said they
And with
didn't want to
good
do
reason.
DLC. I can't avoid the yawn. I did sleep enough, and I drank a ton of water, so
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to about the bearers.
the
How did
possible I'm just
consortium even find out
bored
about
of these
this?
side quests.
It's not so surprising. They have
But there
ears
has
all
been a
over
couple
the
of moments, chat, in this
This
game
isn't
which
over.
where things have
The
dragged on.
consortium will have
So
to sell
compared
these bearers
to
eventually. And at the
like
price they paid,
that whole
buyers
bit
will be few
outside
and far
the
between.
kingdom with
I'm
the
going to
brothel,
Randall myself.
I found that bit incredibly
You sure that's
boring.
wise?
So
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cash
I don't think Full Remake
and
has
get
got that
everything
sort of
ready.
pacing issue. I
We've
think
waited far
the
too
action
long
is
as
a
it
lot
is.
more thick and fast
Even
for
if
most
I
of
fail
it
to free these
until you
bearers,
start doing the
there
shooting
will be
galleries.
others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver
Not
Peak
everything has to
Consortium,
be a John Woo film,
who've
you know what I
been
mean?
doing their best to undermine our scheme.
Doesn't always have to be non-stop action.
No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randala and see if you can stop my sister biting the consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best.
Totally. Why not?
All right. To Randalar then. And better not keep Eloise waiting.
But first... Ooh. Randalar. I have to just go on foot then. And yeah, one day I'll play Final Fantasy XIV again.
I wouldn't give for a
Eventually.
like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
Totally will. Totally.
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I said before. I'm just, for me, like fixing the YouTube channel, fixing it, like the website, stuff like that. It's like I'm laying a foundation for a house called My Future, to say.
You deserve a rest.
Really? Hey, Jen. Like from Mission Impossible movie. Oh, cool. How was it? Was the train sequence a complete rip-off of Uncharted, or not really?
You arranged to speak with the
That was cool.
consortium.
Nice.
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the
mobs, yeah.
bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that
They film in
kept us
place
from bidding.
as the
Your
FFX
hesitancy in
for
accepting
some
after you
of the scenes.
suggested that the regard was not neutral. And so we
What do you mean?
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them
Train
due
scenes are just
consideration.
copied and pasted and add something
But
new.
what is
Fair
done
enough.
is done. Come then.
Yeah, because I
How
saw a
much do
couple
you
of
want
days
for
ago
it?
people were saying that it
Alas,
looks
you are
exactly
too
like
late,
Uncharted 2.
Glenn. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Cannot
Who
say
is
much,
your
it'll be a
buyer?
spoiler. Ah, fair enough.
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money
Yeah.
for bearers not fit for their
I'll
knackers.
watch it when it comes out on
They
streaming
treat them like
services.
kings. But as long as they pay.
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
Okay. I'm a movie premiere. Ah. I didn't know that
So
either.
we weren't able to save them.
I saw the trailer for Open Night, but it looks interesting.
But I only have myself to blame.
I'm just worried that
right, you
it's
see.
been overly
The
marketed.
Silver Peak Consortium did
It'll
intend
only-
to buy those bearers before
I think people
did.
will only be
Their
disappointed.
representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit
But
me.
you can see how much money has
I
got
feigned
behind the movie,
interest
that's
in
for sure.
joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was
They
true,
try and get through these quests.
bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to
It's
hold
really
them off as best they can, but the odds are
acting.
against them. They
Reach
need
the end?
help,
Not yet,
and
no.
fast.
Theo!
Right now, there's like,
Thank you, Clive.
after the last boss, it
I'll
seems
gather
like
some men
now
and join
I've
you there.
got a
Just
million side quests to do.
Make sure
But
he's safe.
I don't think I'll even do any story today because I've got so many side quests to complete.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming.
Alright.
You won't find a finer array this side of the strait. You've a discerning eye.
have to go right, left, I think.
Let's go.
Oh god.
No need to ride from here.
Yeah, I knew I'd be safe. I did it, chat. I rode off a cliff with the chocobo. Seemed like it was inevitable, didn't it?
Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded with ether.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me. Ambrosia won't help me here. Run like the wind.
Been a while since I had any ambrosia. Isn't ambrosia like a type of custard or something for yogurt? I can't remember.
Straight home now.
Started the game with I did. I don't even remember.
Where are you, Theo? Is or was food or drink of the Greek gods. Yeah. No, I think there's like a yogurt in the UK called ambrosia. Damn it. Too thick. These creatures have already turned. Over here!
Right footing, yep.
I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
Well. That was like the S rank this detail.
This one. Too slow.
I did, I guess. it's different things in different places, basically. I see how it is. Ow. Like you have to take a break because he's whooped my ass so hard. There should surely be a there should surely be a trophy for like dodging it or staying in the air for a certain amount of time. I mean, in my opinion.
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that.
Oh well, rip.
Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Oh.
Theodore.
By the way, guys, did you see that The Last of Us TV show was nominated for 24 Emmy Awards? But they might just be renamed the Last of Us Awards this year.
Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you! Theodore, wait.
Is he gonna kill himself?
Goodbye. Oh.
Oh, how sad. Again, like you said before, kind of forced. Hmm. Some time later.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was...
She got over it awfully quick, didn't she?
He showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will.
Oh,
he was ready to do whatever it took
Jim,
to show you
I
he
saw
could
that
stand on his own.
Ever Crisis hit like 700,000
So that you would
pre-registrations
finally be
or
free to
something.
live your own life.
So people are definitely interested.
He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
But, yeah. I need to
We grew up
re-register
in
at some point.
Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses, and I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to
for one of the
drive him
new
out
ones?
of the house and into the care of the
So
constables.
like Project Jade or Code Red, I can't remember
Before
the
they
name,
could.
official name.
I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said
Yes,
you deserved a better life than this.
And when I find
He
out,
wanted to free you from what he called your
or
bonds.
if you find out before
just
me,
as
then
you freed him from his.
let me know. I'll put on the gaming news.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead.
There.
But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to...
Oh, how sad. Man. We got to the next quest yet? Damn it.
I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's, wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen, the life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can, whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive.
Okay.
Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Theodore was a chocobo? Thought he was a person. Okay. I've got 3,000 ability points, so let me read this. I need 4,500 off. Okay, let's see if we can go there now.
Come on. Faster.
But like I said, as you guys know, I'm working so hard these days to maintain my independence. For me, it's not about playing games, it's just about doing what I want with my own time and being my own boss. For me, that's more important than anything. I don't need to be told what to do. So how do I get here? For this quest? I have to go this way? There's some like long way to get there. It is. Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. There. Elvine, right?
This would be easy.
Make sure you explore every area in the game. Cool.
This might take a while.
Is there any sort of in-game marker to say you've 100%ed an area? Or will it just happen naturally by doing all the side quests?
Time to fight.
The trophy list shows the number of locations. Makes sense.
Oh no.
Well,
you'll pay for this. There may still be survivors.
You done? Okay, let's see if there's any, like, chests hidden around this place. That way. Desert Rose, Desert Rose. That's what I was after. Another one. Yeah.
Whatever that thing is, I'd say it's their leader.
Wow.
All yours, Torgal.
GG. Yeah.
Should have stayed in the past.
So that door that we're going to go through from the outside, can I open it from the inside?
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attention.
I see a treasure chest.
Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
He said duty.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged.
Yeah, we did that last time.
Ultima's origins, a duty of the
Don pointed
highest
out.
import. as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their
We did a
lives
bunch of
for
the combat
cause,
trophies as
an
well.
honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks.
2 for every icon.
May the
Okay.
Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart.
Me too.
As it
I think I've
does
done the
in
Bahamut
ours.
ones. I guess I need to do Shiva ones now. Take a look.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another.
30 out of 50. Okay. Files go to the max. Bunch of hidden trophies. Cool.
But for a survey, I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Okay, let me see if there's... I can open the door. There we go. It was locked from the other side. Yeah. Okay, so we're nearly done in this zone. I guess after I turn this quest in, I'll go refill my water.
Here's the scraps you were after.
Thanks.
Right way.
Ah, you are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take them.
Hey.
My thanks. I shall study them and inform you
We'll make a
forthwith
shake
if
in
I
a sec.
discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over
Oh,
which
by the way,
it
chat,
would
have
be
any of you
fruitful
used
to argue.
Mid-Journey
The
before?
Undying have
The
served
AI
the
tool that
Phoenix
makes
for
images.
countless generations. And your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Joshua Rosfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's
I find this game really relaxing, I guess.
do.
Like...
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that we may...
Like I said, it reminds me, I think, of being back at university, like I said. Remember that lecturer I told you about who had the monotone voice? I would just fall asleep in his class. That's, for me, that's how some of the NPCs sound. They remind me of that teacher. I wish there was like a percentage counter or something. Okay. Apparently not. I am gonna go... Yeah. Okay, let me just go refill my water, chat. I'll be right back. I think I'll make a shake while I'm at it as well. In fact, let me play a BRB screen. I'll be right back.
I've been taking pictures from it. You can
Wow.
just sit and just look. I've been taking I've been taking screenshots.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
Wow. You can just literally sit and reflect.
Just how pretty this game is.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
No, I'm doing that.
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
I don't think she understands how to open doors. Okay. It's like, yeah. What would such a song be like? Like, the ring. We stole it 'cause we're bored. We stole it 'cause we're bored. Oh yeah, we stole it. We stole it 'cause we're bored.
No problems. But we do need to respect the rules and glide properly.
It's like, get out of the way. And I fell off a cliff. There's a commission, apparently. Nailed it. Okay. If I run out of stamina and fall to my death, I'm going to be really annoyed. Don't do it, game. Don't do this to me. Nah. Nah. Get to the top. God damn it.
I love you. You know that's why I mean.
I mean,
This is not...
No, if it's inside though, yeah. See that up shaft to your right?
Yeah.
I'm fucking screaming that one.
damn it. Son of a... Oh. Oh, god damn it. Was I doing it backwards the whole time?
Vapor, if you want him to do 5 more, you're gonna have to do it now.
The legs are shaky.
Make him suffer. Yeah, I need to work him into it. Yeah. Don't, like, kill him now. This is for all his bitching. Okay? This is what he gets for bitching.
Yeah, thanks, chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks so much.
I thought I was out of shape.
I think though, in order to be successful, a successful WoW streamer on Twitch, you need to talk with your eyebrows, because that's what Asmongold does. So let me talk with my eyebrows from now on.
Oh my gosh!
I'm exhausted. I can't even do that for more than 5 seconds.
No,
Okay, guys. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to do crafting in Shadowbringers. So what you do, you select whichever craft you want to do. For example, I'm going to select this one. And then you click one button. I'm back. Sorry. Okay, so I need to go here. Good.
Let's go.
I got it backwards, yeah. Yeah, I can even do pull-ups now. So.
Damn it. The whole village has turned.
Well. Oh, Mom. I had an idea when it comes to the workouts. Rather than doing the new program, which we're just simply, I don't think we're ready for, you want to just do the 90-day program again from the very beginning. Except this time we might actually be able to do the first 30 days of exercises. And then after that we can do the new 90-day program.
Get him. Get him. This one.
Save some money. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's also a bonus. Rather than trying to do the, you know, the workouts and just not being able to do any of them. I mean, so we can say the first 90 days was just to get us, it was just to get used to it, and then now we are doing the program for real sort of thing. I like he's just doing the animation, I'm just like getting a drink ready. Okay, let's do that then. We'll start again from the very beginning, but this time hopefully we'll actually do it better. Then in 90 days, then we'll see if we're ready to do the next program. Wow, that actually nearly killed me. Yeah, 'cause I was thinking about it before. Wow, I suck. I think I went a bit overboard that time. Whoops. Okay. So now I have to find the thing, right? There it is. Yeah.
2 down, 1 to go.
Okay, let's go to Arthur's Rest.
Nora should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
I don't know. Talk to Martha first.
Ah, Clive. I was just about to send for you. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself. As of those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude, but now they're their own masters. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves.
Okay, Ma.
So it's up
Safe
to
journey.
us to teach them.
Wherever you're going.
And if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
Cool. Alright.
Alright.
So is this,
Thanks.
when it comes to the
Wouldn't ask
number
if
of
I
side
didn't have
quests,
to.
is this
Yeah,
like the longest
that should
stint
be
of
enough
side
to keep
quests?
them in Gazal
Or is it a
Greens
case
for
of I do the
5
next
years at
boss and then there's even more side quests?
Gazal Greens.
Or is this the worst of it?
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing.
There are more to come.
When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right, and they're just about bearable.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And
What
you
if there's like a
don't,
new
well,
game plus
I'll go up there and show him myself.
I'm sure you
before
will.
the point of no return? Okay. I'm going to assume that people who speedrun the game will be doing new game plus. Is it plausible to speedrun the game when it's a fresh run?
Anything catch your eye?
Moonblade.
Thanks very much. There you go. Fare thee well.
Doodly
Just 'cause the
doodly.
heavens have gone to Rackaroon, it doesn't mean you have to.
Nearly done.
Doris.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
There she is.
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your offer some thought, my lady.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver. I trust you're being careful.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's
So weird
Area
hearing
confirmed
Anna's
a
voice.
long-held suspicion of mine
I just was
that the
listening to
slaver
her
we've
stream
been
just
tracking
earlier.
is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away, and then vanished without a trace.
That was her just now, wasn't it? So, was it a fruitful reunion?
I'd say so. She tried to recruit me.
But basically,
Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end.
before
She's
me and Mum,
abducted
we followed
bearers
like a
from across the
90-day
region and
program,
is looking to smuggle
workout
them back
program,
into Sunbreak.
and
After
like
her
I'm
worship
definitely a
is
lot
Eastern
stronger. I can now do
North
pull-ups
Reach,
and
she
so
hired
on.
herself an Imperial
But
escort,
like for the 90 days,
which
there
she
were some
wants me to
exercises that
She's
were just
dangerous,
out of our
Sid,
range.
But I think I can stop her.
Then I'm
So
going with you.
that's why we want to start the program
take
again
care
from
of
the
the
very
escort.
beginning, and then
You
hopefully
can see
this
the
time
bearers to
through,
safety.
actually have a chance to
Where
do
are
it
they?
properly.
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway.
Because there's a more like extreme program called the Elite program, where they want to teach like one-handed push-ups and eventually handstands. But we are just not ready for that at all. We're not even close. I would say I am not ready for that. So I think strengthening up a bit more will be a good idea. Wrong way. And I haven't worked out in about a week or so. I purposely took a break because, like, it's been fairly relentless the last 90 days. So I wanted to have some break, and then we can just get back to the workout very soon.
Over here!
If it's like just complete waste to kill. The waste to kill level 30 something, so when you're level 42. Just all add up. Now, I did see a video showing what New Game Plus looks like. I saw it, I think even before the game came out, and how there'll be completely different mobs. But the main thing I noted was the fact that I went the wrong way. The main thing I noted was that like the bees in the first area were like level 44. So I should, if anything, I should already be ready for a New Game Plus in terms of levels. So at this rate, if I can get to like level 50 before we get to New Game Plus, then I'll make it a hell of a lot easier, won't it? Okay, let's see. here then.
Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste, lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more, and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company.
You're welcome to try.
You.
So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men.
I found that really
Not
funny.
the
I don't know
sort
why.
I used to be. I
Like, you got
surrender.
wrecked.
Do with me as you wish, Sid the Outlaw.
Sid.
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade?
Wait,
You know,
why did I find that so funny?
I always wondered where you'd vanished to. But casting your lot with this criminal of all people.
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Sid. I should have told you sooner. This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest bidder. She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to earn her favor.
It wasn't all terrible, surely. We had our fun, too.
I shake.
You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. All my other children took either to the blade or to the books. Always either or. But you proved yourself a master of both. That's why I kept you for my own. How about it, my little dagger? Care to swear that blade to me again?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause, to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, Master. Thank you for
The
making me
thing,
the weapon. I am.
obviously, so much emotion in the
were a
voice.
righteous child.
No emotion at all in the
Perhaps
character in
that's the
game.
reason I loved you so.
It's like I said, they just don't put the same amount of effort
What do you
when it's
want
a
to do
side
with
quest.
I am not the killer she wanted me to be.
I think they mention as
Not
well that
anymore.
when
And
it comes
she
to
no
like
longer
lip
has
syncing
friends
in
in
different
high places.
languages, they kind of rely almost on
The game
AI,
does, though.
so they don't
Her
have to do it
connections at the
manually.
Imperial Court will see that
I
justice
mean, that's
is
what they said
done.
for 7 Remake. I don't know if they
Right.
did that for this game.
If you're certain.
I am. And thank you for everything. Now, I better let these bearers know that they're safe.
But with time, I think AI will be strong enough if they use AI for facial technology
And I should head back to
to
the
even
hideaway
know
where Cole's
that the
minded
way
is.
certain words are saying should have this sort of, like, expression on your face. Not just what the word is, but how it's said. I'm sure AI is more than capable of that.
Welcome back, Sid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled across the border.
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway shortly. Oh, and your letter. You don't need to worry about Doris anymore.
Well, so when we get to the point of no return, we'll
mentioned
see
one or
what
two things in her report.
we need to do to clear
So the
up
slave
as
we've
much
been
as
chasing
I want to
all
clear
these
up
months
as
was
much
her
as
former
humanly
master.
possible.
Wish I'd known. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sambrek. Went quietly, or so we're told.
And
she won't be getting
we'll
off
see.
lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers.
I want
It's
the
none
hard
too
mode
fond of
run to
black
be
market traders either.
as focused as possible
Won't
and
be
just
easy for
winning,
Doris.
getting through as
I'm sure
quickly
it
as
wasn't.
possible.
But don't worry. She'll be alright.
Hope so. Suppose you should know, eh? You had quite the past yourself before you came here, or so I understand. Anyway, thanks again, Sid. The Cursebreakers would be lost without Doris. And you, of course.
Keep up the good work, Cole.
Yep. Right, I might quickly go see if if I can get a new weapon.
Come back.
To another point of no return. It will be that obvious. Good.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Papionas.
Ah, the man himself. We were just about to make a start on that sword I promised you. It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his level work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is, then.
Grr. Well, they're gonna break out into a song just then. Sometime later.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you.
Is this like the best weapon?
Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive, then?
Not really.
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history.
For this mode, yes.
We're up for
Okay.
the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravoist.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
We'll upgrade it.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to
But I will need
friendship
to make
brew
one of
force?
every item anyway, right?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my
My current sword attack power is
It's about time I had something to
545.
celebrate.
Oh, cool. I think mine is like, what,
Then tap the
290 or something?
kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
No? Is it not an achievement to get every item? Nope. Okay. Fair enough. We got the Ragnarok. Guta Damarong. Okay. Well, let's see if we can craft anything new anyway.
I never thought me and Zoltan would ever speak again, let alone work together. And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. You've been a good friend to me, Clive.
Stop butchering that name. How do you pronounce it then? Can you type it phonetically?
I'm saying Fordian, dear.
Nice brand.
Not bad, if I do say so myself. Anything else?
Anyway, so I'll assume then I've got the Ragnarok is better than the Ice brand or whatever I got, right? Yeah, so the Ragnarok is better. Which seems like a real waste, I guess, because I should have got the Ice brand, I guess, a while ago. And I've got the Ragnarok. I've like skipped a weapon. I already have got all the rune stuff.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Papio nuts and all.
Okay, let's see if there's anything.
Still alive, are you? Going purse weighing you down?
Here he goes. Long at the custard.
Finished,
Fair
are
enough.
you?
Fair enough. That's the problem with the crafting in this game. Fair enough. Anyway, let's carry on the side quest. At least I got the Ragnarok. Go here. Eastpool. I was born and raised in Liverpool. Liverpool. I'm a former Scouser. Just like the Beatles.
I heard the Guardian saying we're supposed to grow our own food.
Ah, Lord Rosfield. What brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
Over.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings, then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed, only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones.
Yeah.
Unless we teach
Any
them how to live like free men,
predictions
I
what the
fear
next
that all
expansion
we've
on
achieved
14
in
will be
bringing them here
like
is to exchange
about?
one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time
Because
we
we've
all
already gone to
start
a different,
provide for
an
ourselves,
alternate dimension, and we've gone to
bearers
the
and
moon.
Guardians alike.
What's next?
Unfortunately,
We've gone
we've
to
been
the
a
ends
little
of the
too busy
universe.
of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Time it all. I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for
Switch, yeah.
reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
Now on
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What if you
Well,
could
Eastward.
call on
Fair
reinforcements from East?
I mean, I did see the.
You mean the bearers?
I retweeted
We
that
brought
thing
them
this
here so
morning
they
about
might
Blue
live,
Mage.
not
Our Blue
die
Mage is getting
fighting for their
a big upgrade
lives.
in
So
next
wait.
patch.
You said you lack men to defend the village.
I think my Blue
Bearers
Mage is
not
still
men.
like level 50. I've not
Do
touched
they
it in
not
a
wish
very
to
long
see
time.
Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
You're right, my lord. I will appeal to them.
There.
My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
We can't be bothered.
Send us to the slaughter. To serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you?
Yes.
Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves?
If it's easier.
Or will you fight like free men and
No,
women?
we'll fight, yeah, woo. Huzzah. Cheers, definitely.
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have,
That's
I don't
Charlotte.
want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
Amicia from...
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together.
It's funny, like, because the world is not that big, so it's really obvious when a voice actor voices multiple characters. I'd say these actors have got, very distinct voices. Their voices really stand out.
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
I like that they don't even try and mask it. I feel like if I was voicing multiple characters, I would try and at least change the voices.
If it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Like I did with 14.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of
Do you
my
remember
own
when I was doing my voice acting in 14?
Rosfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily
Fairly sure I
retreating
did
all
more than
the
one
while.
voice in one scene.
You're going to lure them into the village.
I am. We will have neither the time
It's like a
nor the
four-person
resources to treat
ensemble
the wounded,
with the extra
so
voice
injuries
lines,
must
yeah.
be avoided at all
That's what it
costs.
sounds like.
Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use
Do you
of
have the director
messengers
one,
drawn
so
from
you won't
among
have
the
one?
bearers,
Yeah, fair enough.
we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square. The perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them. And for you and I to finish
I guess
them
it's just down to where the budget is.
Plan, but one that'll require a leader
can see
with
where
a
the
cool
money
head
went,
and strong
basically.
nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade. But you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together. Everyone playing
I wonder
their
as
part.
well from the voice
Each
actor's point of
shielding
view,
the other that no man
if
might
it's
fall.
a way for them to get
That
bigger
East
paychecks,
Pool might
to
live
say
on.
that
For
I
this
officially
area.
voiced multiple
this
characters,
area.
so I should get multiple paychecks.
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better
Because
do our bit
I've got
too,
no
then,
idea.
eh?
I'm not in the
you
voice
are,
acting game,
Martha.
so. Never thought about it like that. Yeah.
The calm before the storm.
No. So this was the overwhelming horde, was
Here
it?
comes. Not let this village fall. This one. Get him.
Well,
Kill. Get him. Farewell. All yours, Torgal. Stay down. Go for it. Get him.
GG.
Looks like that's
Well,
the
this
last
is
of
still
them.
technically easy mode,
Lord
so.
Rosfield! Change of plan!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So Wade, how many Akashic
Yeah,
remain in
yeah,
East
I
Pool?
understand.
Hard to say.
That
My men
rumble
are
was
still
a bit
facing some resistance, but
ridiculous.
I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No. Let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the Curl. Join me only when East Pool is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if I was famous, let's say I'm like equivalent of Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk. Like, I would take less money up front and then just ask for a percentage. But if Keanu Reeves is smart, he would have asked for a percentage of the Cyberpunk sales rather than a big upfront fee.
Good girl.
You know,
Faster.
I wonder. Because I doubt a normal voice actor would have the leverage to ask for any percentage. Even if it's like literally 0.1%, they'd probably still say no. But if you're like, if you being present in the game can lead to a lot of sales, and it's a different, because that's how they negotiate like films, isn't it?
There it is. With me, Torgal.
Ow. Let's see how it is. voice a character? Keanu Reeves? He did. Voice and he motion captured it. You lose. Okay, check that he did. I found him. Yeah, like him being like he had a massive part in Cyberpunk.
Right. Back to Eastpool.
And he's in the DLC as well that hasn't even been out yet. Phantom Liberty. But you could argue that his presence in Cyberpunk increased its popularity a lot. I think that's what helped it survive the disastrous launch. And now that they fixed it, now the game is a lot, you know. Now people are like, oh, expansion, Keanu Reeves, all of it.
It's dead.
Thank the Founder
And
for
we'll just blame the pandemic
and
on
for
the
you,
bad launch.
my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but
It's not
all
an excuse
seems
they can use
quiet
again,
for
isn't
now.
it?
I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
There's something I did report in the gaming news a while ago, was how basically the shareholders of CDPR sued CDPR for misleading them about Cyberpunk, and they won, and they received like $3 million in compensation, and I was like, only $3 million, given it was almost like worldwide news.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you.
I'm sure there was kids
You
starving
brought
in
us
poor
together.
countries. They were like, I can't believe
Showed us what it
Cyberpunk has
means
such a
to
bad
fight
launch.
for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before.
Greed was the reason. Oh, it was just the excuse. Yeah, it's not an excuse they can use again either. We probably won't have another pandemic for another 100 years. We'll be dead by then.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no doubt
If you look
in
at
my
the
mind
history of
anymore.
pandemics, they happen every
We're
100
free
years,
men
basically.
now, so we have to start acting
Spanish
like it.
flu and so on.
We have to fight to protect what's ours, to protect Eastpool.
And we shall. We all shall. Together. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take it away,
They'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't going to rebuild itself.
They're not slaves anymore.
no. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today, this
And then
is what he would have wanted.
Neon was actually talking about the story of Final Fantasy VII.
I shall remain
So he
here,
was
my
saying
lord,
that the reason why,
and
for
do what I
example,
can to
Barrett
help
cares
rebuild
very
the
much about the
village.
planet
After all,
is because he
this
actually
is my
spent
home
years
now,
in
too.
Cosmo Canyon.
And I could hardly call myself an East Poolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same.
Hey, Super Doc, how you doing today?
I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed.
I've live streamed you.
Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course. And I'd be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
Yeah, pretty good.
And
Can't complain.
Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right. I will.
Taking my time through this game.
Lord Rosfield, do you
But
remember our
I will
very
keep playing
first
this until I
mission
get the
together?
Platinum Trophy.
Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind marshes.
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender.
Am I out on this game for my next play? Oh,
I
cool.
would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means.
And let me know how
to
you
be a
find it.
shield. know that whatever trials
I find
East
the
Pool may
combat like
face,
really
I shall
fun.
never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that East Pool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
And yeah, one day I'll play Witcher 3.
My lord.
Maybe in my
I
40s.
know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
But I'm sure Witcher 4 will be out by the time I get to Witcher 3.
I'll do my best.
Okay, let's go speak to Buffer. Going on 70s? Yeah, who knows? I hope I would have hit like 10,000 subscribers on the news channel by then.
The hero returns. It's lucky you came.
Oh, by the way,
when
Mario,
you did,
I've been posting
Not
a
only
gaming
did
news
my
video
seeds
every
get
single day.
delivered, but you went and
It's
saved
on
his
YouTube
pool
channel.
and
I've been
all.
doing it for more than 2 years now, every
could.
single day.
And it's only
So I
right
summarize
that
the
you
news
get
in about a
rewarded
minute.
for it.
So if you watch my
Take
videos
it
every
before
day
I change my mind.
for a minute, you'll know everything that's going on in the gaming industry.
Thank you, Martha.
Everything.
So East Pool's finally
I read
back
the
on
news
its
every
feet
day.
again, and a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. Loath as I
Like the
am to
graphics?
recall that
Yeah.
particular day.
I take it you
Graphically,
didn't
the game
always
is
see eye to
amazing.
eye. What happened?
That's why they made it PlayStation 5 exclusive, so they
If you
wouldn't have to
really want
compromise on the
know,
graphics.
I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's
And the game
how
will
I
eventually
met
come
him.
out on PC, but
Or
we'll
at
probably
least
have to
how
wait
he
like a
came to
year.
meet me.
I just hope the launch on PC
He
goes a
showed
lot
up at
smoother
the
than 7
stables one
Remake.
day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it,
How many
always
hours
them
is
who
this
come
game supposed to
after us.
be? I think they
we've got
said
a few
30, 40
half-decent
hours for the
swords waving
story
in
and
the
70
winds,
hours
eh?
to do everything.
It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Then it's just down to you,
Just a
basically.
little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Scored 50,000 in one tag yet? I did, yeah. I got like 60,000, maybe more. I got that trophy. Alright, let's see what we need to do next. Not done. I think this is the last one for side quest.
The High Cardinal, here in North...
Fail. Let's go to the Vale first, and we'll see where we have to go. I'm still keeping my eye on the prize every single day. My eventual goal is I want to wake up and have a shower, do my morning routine, and have the script for the game and use waiting for me.
What am I to do?
Record it in a couple of minutes, send it to my editors, and the editors do all the rest. Edit it, do the B-roll, publish it on all the social medias, everything, and then I can just spend the rest of the day streaming.
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his radiance at the head
And then
of the
hopefully
Imperial government.
be making
Not
enough
any of
where I
those
actually
things
can
still
pay my mods
exist.
as well.
Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
Because it takes me now, with the amount I do for the gaming news, the gaming news itself probably takes me like
A foundation upon
3
which to build
4
the
hours a
new
day,
Sambrek.
every day,
He's already secured the support of the various army remnants.
beginning to end. The research, the
Promises
recording,
that they
the
shall be
editing, the
afforded
publishing.
respect they deserve in his empire.
And then some days it's delayed because either I wake up late or
He would rob the
there's
populace to
literally
pay for it.
nothing to talk about.
Believe me.
I've had days where I've had to scour all the internet for like 2 hours just to find something to talk
For
about.
whatever reason,
Some days it's really easy. There's like 10 stories to pick from, like
Captain Philippe
just
make of
3
this?
out of the 10.
When the town
Other
was under
days there
attack,
isn't
it
even
was
3
him and the
stories,
soldiers
especially on the
rallied around.
weekends, obviously.
Couldn't he use that influence again?
how? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrek. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire.
So guys, if you've been sitting down for a long time, get up, stretch your legs, walk
and
around.
to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
Error.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
Good luck. Have fun.
I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
I hope you did, just not negative one.
Well, what do you think?
How do I get to it? Ah. That way.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
Random question, chat. Have any of you ever worn
sellsword
chainmail
who
and a
lent
full
his
set of
aid
armor
to
before?
The garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't.
I wonder if it's worth me trying any of
Proud
the.
fighting man like
As he's
yourself
nearly 8
shall
PM. Maybe
always
next
have
time.
a place here.
I was going to say
Pride
whether it's worth
place,
trying any
in
of the
fact.
trials.
For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more.
2.5 hours? Wow.
It is they who shall see the Holy Empire
Time goes by, like I
rebuilt,
said, goes so
beginning right
so
here
fast
in
playing this game.
Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins.
There.
Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later.
Lol.
A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan.
Oh yeah, go ask 57 of them.
Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Okay. Just teleport a bit faster.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
Cool. Next.
Sell anything today?
As much as you, I'll wager.
You sell anything?
Garrison
Nope.
salvaged what they could from
Never.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Yep. We're seeing a obvious theme here.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Oh, like I said, we are getting a very obvious hint here of what the people want. They just want him to go. Want him out.
You. You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children.
I respect
the
it.
Duke can get us cement and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards. I don't care how he does it.
Die. Next.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
And I don't know what the solution is.
We already have a leader in the Dame.
It's not only control of the garrison he wants, it's the whole of Mithrie.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. But I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
Yes.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
But it's like, even if we ask the entire planet,
Welcome back. Wraiths give you any trouble?
what difference would it make?
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend
Not like
to
he
go
can
along
do
with his
anything.
plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds.
It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
That's it.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's like I said. It's like, what difference does it make if he asks every single person on the planet? I'm sure in this sort of society, it's not exactly a democracy, or it's a dictatorship. But whatever. But let's not get into politics, basically.
Well, what do you think?
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
But, etc. and blah.
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
Good.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Off hint, wink.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again.
Until then, Clive.
Doodly doodly. It's complete. About to level up, right? Nice. Level 43. Okay. Is this the last side quest? And it'll just be mains. So I guess if I finish all the side quests today, then I can maybe tomorrow, I suppose, get to the story to the point where I take on Odin. Check that board as well. Yeah. And I still need to do that level 50 dragon as well. Yes, right.
Ready, go? Run like the wind.
Okay, so I can do the hunt board. I might do the hunt board tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. Let's just see how much of this is, how long this quest is. Need to decide what I'm having for dinner today.
Time to fight.
It's so dark I can't see a thing.
Get him. This one.
Sorry. I was never going to get to that where I was going. This way.
Over here.
Okey-dokey. Now we're going the right way.
Farewell. Yours, Torgal.
I don't know why, it's just the music is almost giving me Final Fantasy XI vibes. Almost.
That's all of them. Owain can uncross his toes now.
Okay. Did I finally finish all the side quests? I mean, the current ones? Okay. Alright, let me check the hunt board then. So I turn this quest in. So yeah, so I have spent the entire stream, nearly 3 hours, just on side quests.
Covered in nicks and lumps.
One side quest. The Reciphilic error. Okay. I'll probably do it next time because it's already after 8 PM. It's already late for me.
How was she? The Enterprise, I mean.
Ah, Sid. Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully. Here.
That's brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit him to the smelter right away!
Okay. Sometime later.
May I present to you the Telemon Furnace! Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon Furnace was just what we needed to perfect it. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise. So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
Oh, my backpack now bigger. Can I hold more potions? Cool. I got the trophy with 2 Ds. Okay. Well, let's see if there's anything here.
How may I help you today, Clive? Here you are.
2,500 ability points. There we go. A shot. Genji gloves. Oh, are the Genji gloves like
Best of luck out there, Sid.
bestest lot?
How do you split the sea?
Didn't I have to get the Genji stuff for like what's it called? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's all short.
You reckon?
Come back.
Ew.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of pep yet.
Still alive, are ya? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that. Is that all?
Dokely dokely. Alright, chat. I think that's a good time to stop for the day. There's only now main quests to do and the hunt board. So I guess next time... 5% damage. Okay. Next time I'll start with the hunt board. And then I'll try the dragon again, the level 50. See if I can get on even better with it or not. And then we'll carry on the story. So... Alright, let me actually save, because I haven't saved like all day. Whoops. Alright. That's enough PlayStation for one day. Alright, chat. So still saying after 41 hours, I'm 76% of the way through the story. Okay, guys. So I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. So, like I said, I still have a lot of work to do on the website. I'm now optimizing all the titles. That's going to be a project and a half because I've got nearly 800 articles. But, yeah, I'll get it done. So, alright, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye. And I need to shave. You can see me, I call this, the way it's sort of snowing on my chest, I call this chin druff. So yeah, I need to shave. So, alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.